one handy thing to carry out here when you're RVing, especially if you're a full-timer, is a torque wrench and a decent little set of sockets. An RV, because it vibrates so much, is constantly shaking loose its bolts, and you're constantly having to tighten them. The torque wrench will allow you to tighten them to the proper torque setting, so you're not under tightening them or over tightening them. So I carry this torque wrench. It's a pretty good quality one. You turn it to set the torque, and it's got measurements in foot-pounds down here. Then I carry the extensions I need for the various things I need to tighten. This one I use for my trailer wheels, and then I have another longer one that helps me, this one here, helps me get into the dualies on the truck to tighten the lug nuts there. And then I can use various sockets and extensions in here to tighten other bolts on the trailer that need tightening. I'll show you the main ones that I always watch. Here's my trailer wheel, and it calls for around 115 to 120 pounds of torque. So I set that on the torque wrench. When I hear the click, that means it's set. So what I'll do is, before every toe, I'll just quickly check and make sure all those are tightened up. That way I know my wheels are nice and tight and won't come loose while we're towing. On the truck you can see why I need the deep extension to get into where that bolt is, and for that, this one I set at about, I think it's 150 pounds of torque. Same deal. Check them out, make sure they're all okay. I find the truck ones don't come loose as easily as the trailer ones, so I might check them a little less often than the trailer ones. The wheels on the trailer and the truck, there's a few other nuts, bolts I check the torque for. One of them is the pin box here. It has 4 on each side, so I routinely check it. Also, I check my hitch, all the bolts on it, make sure they're all torqued up properly. Other ones to check are the suspension bolts. I find especially these U-clamps, make sure they're torqued properly. I check them every month or so. I'll come out there and just make sure, and sometimes I'll find, sure enough, they need a little bit of tightening. But if they get too loose, your axles are going to start flopping around and all sorts of bad things can happen. I also have an equalizer down there with some bolts and the hanger bolts. So those are all good things to keep tabs on, because anything that comes loose down here in your suspension, this is where all the rocking and rolling takes place. So anything loose is bad. Get yourself a torque wrench and look up in your manuals or contact the manufacturers of your equipment and find out what the proper torque settings are. Set it up and make sure everything is tight. You usually have a decent torque wrench for around $50 or $75. It'll last a long time, and with a little quick checks and maintenance, you can save yourself some big bucks. If anything goes wrong with the suspension or wheels, it's usually going to cause some extensive damage, and you're going to be paying in the long run.